The token is, I think, called ICP, and it obviously got whacked in May.
The internet computer.
To me, what was so fascinating about Dfinity was the concept and the technology. Forget about the investment for the moment. Forget about the return. Just understanding the idea that the potential exists to build a world computer.
It is of a different order of magnitude.
This is Elliot from the Early Stage Investor, and these are the reasons why ICP can hit $45 very soon. For starters, let's talk about the community and the meme potential of ICP. As much as we all love to believe in the technology of ICP because it is the most revolutionary blockchain on the planet. In fact, it's not even a blockchain, it's a world supercomputer running on a blockchain, so way bigger than any blockchain, right? The technology is revolutionary, but no one talks about the meme aspect of this asset. And I understand why. Again, the ICP community is smart. We don't like buying junk. We're not buying a bunch of stuff that a bunch of retail traders might chase in a bull market. That makes absolutely no sense for real life-changing returns long term. But there is an aspect of it that could provide massive life-changing upside, and it does have to do with its meme potential. What is meme potential? Well, it's built around a community. The bigger the community, the more potential liquidity that could flow into an asset. So that's where the value of a meme coin comes in. It's really the value of the community. How much potential liquidity is there that could flow into the asset? Well, the ICP community is enormous. This is what everyone is sleeping on when it comes to ICP. People don't understand how valuable and enormous the ICP community really is. It's massive, right? It's all made up of smart people that have weathered a horrendous looking chart, just like the people who weathered the Cardano chart back here did, just like the rare people that were able to weather the Bitcoin chart when it crashed, the Solana chart when it crashed. And so similar to those people, the ICP community has weathered a down chart, right? That is the prerequisite for making life-changing returns. You don't chase a pumping chart. If you want to make life-changing returns, you find charts that look like this. That's what the ICP community has done. There's zero mainstream narrative, crypto matrix narrative. There's zero of that. It's just pure die-hard investors who understand that ICP is the most revolutionary technology in all of crypto and who are willing to be diamond hands on an asset that could be punishing at times when it comes to price action. But as Michael Saylor says, volatility is a gift to the faithful. It gives you that opportunity, that life-changing upside. And so the community of ICP is massive. We get insane engagement on social media. Dominic Williams' tweets are getting over 1,000 likes every single time. This is like Solana level in terms of engagement. Very few, if any, crypto communities get this type of engagement, right? And it's driven by skyrocketing growth of users of the world computer. At the start of 2025, there were 2.7 million internet identities created. These are unique identities that allow unique individuals to log into the world computer. 2.7 million. Where are we now? We're at 2.9 million. So in the brutal crypto winter, we've had 200,000 people around the world join this exponentially growing, snowballing community. If you were diving into ICP in the crypto winter of 2025, you're not in it for the hype, you're a diamond hander. So that's what we're getting, this like resilient, massive, global, exponential, snowballing community. What sent Cardano to an insanely ridiculous market cap back here doing 100x? It was just the community, it was the liquidity, it was the narrative, right? No real fundamentals. The fundamentals of ICP, we'll talk about the technology, but I'm just talking about community narrative. Where can it go? So just based on the enormous global community, the engagement, the hype, what happens on any good news. Here's a chart of ICP recently, right? It literally went from $3 to about $10. It did a 3x just out of the blue, right? There was a supply crunch on the centralized exchanges. And guess what happened? We had the biggest influencers in the space start talking about it because there's eyeballs. It's a big community. It's very well known. It's on every single exchange. And so that's why, just disregarding the unbelievable fundamentals and technology of ICP for a second, just think about the community, think about the narrative, the potential of this asset. It can skyrocket. So now let's move past the community and the memeability of this asset. Now let's move on to bigger aspects of this asset and why it can skyrocket. Again, I'm just saying why I can get to $45 easily. Well, here's the narrative. This is the narrative that took on in the last bull market in crypto and altcoins. Here's Raoul Pal talking about ICP.
The idea that basically we can use some of the distributed, decentralized architectures to create an entirely new cloud, an entirely new internet, really fascinating conversation.
Yeah, I still don't understand any of it. Actually, to be truthful, Dominic's a really bad describer of it because he's a techie, he's a developer. And it's really hard for somebody like me, who's a very superficial knowledge guy, trying to figure out, it sounds amazing, but everything sounds amazing. So I can't tell. And that's a feature of this space is you really need to know your stuff. It's hard. So, that token fell 90 odd percent because there was a lot of VCs involved in this and they made thousands of percent returns and they're all taking their profits. And so the token falls, everyone then goes, it's a scam and, the usual negative narrative. The reality is we won't know until we start to see network effects.
The token is, I think, called ICP, and it obviously got whacked in May.
The internet computer. I mean, even that name is kind of a statement of intent.
To me, what was so fascinating about Dfinity was the concept and the technology. Forget about the investment for the moment. Forget about the return. Just understanding the idea that the potential exists to build a world computer like Ethereum, but in a different way that potentially creates a secure space for code execution where the data and the code that's being run can be isolated and segregated. Think about what the potential value of something like that could be, whether it's version 0.1, whether it's version 1.0 or version 2.0. These are technologies, these are ideas that are coming.
Yeah, I mean, this project is clearly the biggest in ambition of any project in the space. Because it's basically saying, here's an entirely new architecture for the internet that is driven by cryptography and is scalable beyond anything that exists currently today, is faster than all of the other blockchains added together in terms of number of blocks it can produce. It is of a different order of magnitude. People are pretty cynical about it, but let's see, because if this is the scope of the breakthrough, and the investors in this are some serious investors.
A16Z, Polychain Capital.
Yeah, so let's see. Give them the benefit of the doubt, do your homework. And that's what I'm doing with this. I mean, I'm still, I talked to Dominic. I still don't really understand it. All I know is it's big.
This is something no other crypto project has. It doesn't have that ceiling of being the most ambitious project in the space that has this narrative that the entire internet can run on it. Raoul Pal, we've talked about how he's an investor in Sui. He's been hyping up Sui, why he thinks it could be internet scale, but he just admitted that ICP is the fastest of all the blockchains and the most scalable of all the blockchains. It's a fact. So this is what, again, no other crypto project has and why ICP has exponential upside. We talked about the community. We talked about how just based on narrative and eyeballs, it can pump. But the actual technology is so revolutionary that it's undeniable. So in a crypto bull market, ICP's pumps. That's what we saw at the end of 2024. That's what we saw very recently when the rest of the crypto market was sleeping. That's what we saw. So that's what we're going to see. Ridiculous technology, ridiculous narrative. Raoul Pal admits it. The other guy who spent time actually studying what this asset does is very excited by it. There's no other project like it, right? People, once they actually study it, start to admit it. They've already admitted it. The fastest, most scalable blockchain, world computer, internet scale asset. So we have big community, a global community, lots of eyeballs, lots of potential liquidity. We have a very easily accessible token. We have a narrative that is more powerful than any other crypto asset because it's the biggest narrative of any crypto asset. That's what Raoul Pal just said. It's the most ambitious. And we have the most revolutionary technology. And so all that just leads to, obviously, the potential for it to absolutely skyrocket. The biggest narrative, the best technology. And we do have Raoul Pal admitting that. Having the entire internet run on a supercomputer, that is a narrative no one's talking about yet. So that is the potential for early stage investors to make life-changing returns. I'm just talking about it going to 45. Based on what I'm saying, it can go a lot higher than that. If Cardano could do 100x, this can do easily 100x. $300 a token. I've talked about it on this channel. And what I love about it is its democratic governance. So whatever you see it as now can evolve as the community votes on changes. It's on-chain governance. So can it become quantum resistant one day? Easily. Any change can be made to it and it can evolve. So it's like the world's greatest meme coin with the world's greatest technology and the world's greatest programmability. So it's a living, breathing organism. It's one of the most revolutionary assets on the planet. Most used blockchains by total transactions. ICP number 1, Solana number 2, Hedera number 3, Stellar, Tron, BNB. Top 10 ecosystems by active developers in 2025. Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, Polygon, Sui, BNB Chain, Polkadot, the Internet Computer. Once Caffeine AI users can push their apps code to GitHub, ICP will absolutely dominate these stats. I've showed you this before. Again, all this stuff just adds power to the narrative. So once you get a crypto bull market, you start to see which assets bubble to the top in terms of narrative. ICP crushes it. It bubbles to the top very quickly in terms of the hype that can be generated. And so the way you have to think about the crypto space is this is the Las Vegas desert before any buildings were built or tourists arrived, right? It's just the Las Vegas desert. It's infrastructure. It's like the plumbing networks. So you can't look at this space and start evaluating assets based on adoption because there's really nothing going on right now. The world is being built out. A crypto bull market is coming. Massive amounts of money is moving into the space over time, trillions of dollars of wealth. And so all we have to do is look at the assets that can capitalize on that. And what I'm saying is ICP can absolutely capitalize on that in terms of narrative, in terms of adoption, in terms of community. So it's very well positioned for a crypto bull market. And the technology is too complex and huge in scale to really cover in this video, but it's also a Bitcoin layer 2 with 400 and climbing Bitcoin on top of it. They're working on a way to make every single crypto asset on the planet seamlessly integrate into the world's computer. So we're going to see more total value locked stream onto this world computer. So again, a bull market hasn't come, so we don't really know which assets are going to reach escape velocity, separate themselves from the rest, but ICP is well positioned to do so. Now, when is that bull market coming? Well, we've been talking about on this channel how liquidity, interest rates, it's all driving whether or not new capital comes into the space. Retail investors currently are the only ones really able to buy these assets. So the market is almost entirely driven by retail investing activity. Retail investors, because interest rates have been low, because the economy, apart from big cap AI, has been so weak, hasn't really had the capital to invest. So we've seen flat markets, but that's all changing very soon, 2026. Trump promises $2,000 tariff checks by mid-2026. That's an easy way for them to win an election. We saw what happened the last time people got stimulus checks. It was during the pandemic. Where do they invest their money? In speculative assets. So we have a wall of retail capital coming. Trump says he'd love to fire Powell, urges Bessent to work on him to lower rates. Trump also wants the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates as fast as humanly possible. That's going to cause a wave of liquidity to move into these assets. And we have regulatory clarity coming to crypto, which is going to enable institutions to buy these assets. And that's all coming in 2026. So ICP very well positioned to capitalize on the next bull market. Best narrative, best technology, one of the biggest communities. And we have a wall of liquidity flooding into crypto in 2026. Doesn't get bigger than that. ICP can hit $45 soon.